There are a few of us who remember a small-town general store, but those of you who don't need to see the W.H. Tupper Museum in Jennings. It's a true time capsule. The original store was several miles north of Jennings and closed in the late 1940s.
At the time, we're having a disagreement. She walked out the store at noon in 1949, locked the doors, and that was it.
Perishables were removed, but the rest of the inventory stayed right there for 20 years. As the building started to show its age, things needed to be moved.
And she painstakingly took every product. Everything was cleaned, packaged, wrapped up.
Then 20 years after that, it all fell on the shoulders of Joe Tupper.
After everybody had passed away, he found himself with a warehouse full of stuff, plus a farmhouse full of stuff, because his aunts were kind of sort of hoarders. They kept everything, which actually, for history-wise, it was great.
It was all brought to Jennings and became a community project, and what you see is the real deal.
When you look at the products on the shelf, there's still stuff in those containers. That's the original.
And when you go into the museum, you truly step back in time. You never know what you're going to find.
Almost everything on the shelf is poison, but it was medicine at the time.
Including a colic medicine made from cannabis.
Well, then at one point in time, they realized, well, we can't give that to babies, so they used it for cows and horses.
And some things aren't even identified until someone old enough knows what it is.
We had a gentleman that came in and he said, we used to have one of those on the farm. And we said, well, explain to us what it was.
As much as time has stood still in the store, the back half of the museum is always evolving. Take the telephone museum. From the oldest phones to somewhat more modern technology, you can see how we communicated and how workers kept us online. They have a reading area, a children's play area, and a small auditorium. You also get to see the fashions from days gone by. They're located on Main Street in downtown Jennings and are open Tuesdays through Saturdays. For Acadiana's News Channel, I'm Dave Baker.